And I'm delighted to say that Joe very kindly joins us now on Drive. Joe, hello, good afternoon to you.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, we're good, very well. How are you feeling now after Saturday night?
Yeah, feeling really good, rested now, and yeah, I'm pretty relaxed actually, just chilling out, and gonna have a bit of time off before I get back in the ring,
Joe,
get back in the gym and in the ring.
let me ask you, I sometimes go out for a run in the afternoon, and in the next morning when I try and get out of bed, I can't even move. I'm a little bit older than you. But how are you when after a fight, not with your age we'll talk about in a moment, but irrelevant of that, whenever you've had a fight the next morning, how stiff and how hurt are you?
Yeah, stiff and hurt. Like even after the fight, like when I start to cool down, then I start feeling the aches and pains. My body starts to stiffen up like concrete, like setting concrete. But yeah, like when I'm in training camp and that the beginning of the training camp, then that's when like the muscles tend to hurt more. Like especially when you start pushing them a little bit more and you're training like twice a day throughout the week. By the time you get to the end of the week, then you're really seizing up and your muscles are like aching. But the more you do it, like is the quicker your recovery, so it doesn't like hurt as much, and you can push your body harder.
A Radox bath will sort that out, trust me.
Radio Sports Health as well, yeah.
Tell me about the fight. It obviously went as planned, but I wonder, is it more satisfying for a boxer to produce the goods that you did with body shots rather than a sort of an uppercut to finish the opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I was working on the uppercut and I'd landed quite a few in the fight. I was just watching it back not too long ago, actually. So I could see like where it was working because they were the kind of shots that I was working on with Salas and these left hooks and the overhand rights. I was mixing it up and worked the straight right to the body as well. That worked like early on. Like some of the shots, like I was listening to the commentary and like they kind of weren't like really picking up on it, but I guess like watching it again, like over and over again, I can pick up different things.
Joe, in terms of your fight style, I mean, I've watched you for all your fights really, and the last three in particular, you're kind of stepping in front of the opponent and kind of letting them hit you because, as everyone knows, you've got one of the best chins in the game. Is this something that you get concerned about when you go against like the real heavy hitters in the division?
Yeah, of course, but I guess like I'll raise my game up because I'll be a lot more wary going in, and also because I've been out of the ring for such a long time, it takes like a little bit of time to adjust and like get. But yeah, I'm susceptible like to get hit. It's I started at the age of 22, so you can only learn so much.
Does that bother you when you get hit, Joe?
But like that's kind of like my style. It's like exciting, and if I'm going to take one, I'm going to give you five back.
I mean, does it bother you when you get hit? Obviously, the hammer fight, the first round, you took a few in the first round, but you just seem to eat them up. Is that something that spurs you on even more if you get hit?
Yeah, I guess, okay, so you want to hit me? Okay. And then I'll go and hit them back another 10 times. 10-hit combo.
Yeah.
Joe, I read, I don't know how true, well, it must be true, that you've had tests done on your body which found that your bone density is 5 times that of a normal human man. Is that right?
Yeah, average human.
I believe that as well.
What does that mean? You can get hit 5 times stronger than I can before it hurts you?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, my bones are pretty dense. Like it comes up solid white. We do this test where it's in Saracen's ground, which is in Middlesex actually, and I went to Middlesex, so it's quite a good little nod there. But like do testing, and there's this I forget what the name of the machine, but it's like kind of like a scanner, but it's kind of like a printer, and it kind of shows you like your solid like bone density. A DEXA scan, I think it's called.
In terms of your next fight, sorry, Joe, go on.
But yeah. So, but like most of the rugby guys are like around ×3. But I think I've got the highest score on that in there.
In terms of your next fight, obviously we've had Frank Warren on the show this morning, and I know that you was going to fight Joseph Parker. Politics was involved, and you didn't end up fighting him for the reasons of the different channels. But Frank Sanchez has been mentioned. Now, I don't think he'll cause you many problems, in my opinion. I think he went the distance with Christian Hammer, and I think you'll end that fight pretty quickly. Who do you want to fight next? Do you want the world shot next, if you can, or another few fights before that?
Probably another few fights, unless there's like some really interesting names that could. But we're gonna go and have a look at like the top 20 and like pick out some names. Like, you know, that Dillian White was a name that was mentioned. Obviously Parker, but that's obviously got caused some problems, and there's a few other names, but I can't think of any stand out. I can't think of any right now off the top of my head, but they're, you know, along that fringe heavyweight title era. But then I need to just, I mean, I don't really need to take risky fights at this stage because I'm already in the top position. I'm number one in the WBO, and I just need to wait for that to get called, because obviously Usyk was mandatory for the WBO. And then he got his shot against Joshua. And then he obviously won all the belts. So then they're doing the rematch. And then after that, then the governing bodies will start calling again for them fights. And that's where I come in to take the titles.
Joe, let me ask you, I know you had a great amateur career. I know that. This is probably why you got into the game quite late. You've only, I say only, but you've had 14 fights, so you're 36 years old. Is there any part of you that regrets getting into the game so late? Because it is predominantly a young man's career, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, for the heavyweights, they tend to go on to their 40s, especially these days with, you know, the science and the diet and good health and etc. So tend to go on a bit longer. And the last thing that goes is your power. But the first thing to go is your fast twitch muscle fibers. So obviously, maybe some of them have gone already, but or going. But no, it's like it was the right time for me, I think, because there's always a danger when you get to the age of 16. A lot of boxers and sports people get like, you know, they start like, you know, discovering girls, women, and etc. start to want like to go out, and especially that 18, and it's a dangerous age. But I kind of didn't like moved around different sports, and it wasn't till like I tried to do the athletics, but I wasn't good enough to get to the Olympics, because that was my first goal, was to get to the Olympics. And when I started boxing, that's when I was really enjoying myself, because I wasn't really enjoying the athletics and wasn't being successful in it. So it's like the door was shut. But then when I moved to boxing, then it just kind of like started opening up, and I could see my path opening up, and all I had to do was just keep on winning my fights, and like that's how you then my next goal was to get on the GB, and I win the ABAs, and then got to GB, and then going all around. Like it's like a process. You set goals, and then once you get to that goal, you're like, okay, what can I do next? And you move the bar, and then you work to that next goal. But my long-term goal was to get to win Olympic medal, and I did that. And then my next goal was to be a heavyweight champion of the world, and I'm right close.
UID. Listen, the line's not great. It sounds like you're in America, so there's that 2-second delay. So I apologise to anyone listening. There's nothing we can do about it. I've got a couple of questions before I let you go. AJ against Usyk. Who's going to win that?
I believe Usyk's going to win again, unless AJ can do something drastically different and use the work that he's done with Garcia. I forget his first name in a second. But yeah, with the work he can do with his coach, and because he hasn't had that much time to work and make a difference. But I believe he's got a good shot and a puncher's chance. He's the underdog again. So let's see if he can snatch back all them belts back and be on top. Okay,
and my second question, Tyson Fury, of course, well and truly retired, or is he? Do you think he'll come out and fight the winner of that?
Let's see what happens. I'm sure if Joshua wins, then everyone wants to see that fight. But equally, I'd like to see him fight Usyk, because I think Fury would probably slap him about a bit.
Okay. Well, listen, Joe, thanks so much for coming on so soon after that victory. What happens between now and your next fight? When do you start training? What happens now for you?
Well, I'm going to go. I'll go with my girlfriend to Guernsey and have a little bit of a holiday, and then I might go somewhere else and just have a few weeks off, because I've been out on training camp in Vegas for so long and come back here, and it's good to just like reset and then start again. And I'll be flying back out to Vegas again to start my next training camp for the September 24th is when where I'm scheduled to fight again.
Okay. It must be horrible going to Las Vegas. I'm sure you
terrible.
enjoy it.
The weather's too hot.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. Hey, listen, Joe. We're big fans.
Drink.
We're big fans of yours at talkSPORT. Of course, we cover the fight live at the weekend. So congratulations, and we look to cover many more of your fights, including the one where you become heavyweight champion of the world. Thanks so much for coming on.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
Thanks,
Cheers,
man.
Joe.